Hello to all, we are back in your program Get Out of Depression in this 31st of December. Yes, we have few hours to finish 2019 and to enter in a new year. And this is the time where many people right now, they think about, they stop and they analyze about their year. And maybe you are watching me, you were there trying to search for a program, or maybe you are watching me on Facebook and you are trying to see what news you have and you found this program. And maybe you are there alone, maybe you are there unhappy, maybe you are there without no perspective. A new year is coming few hours, but for you doesn't mean anything because your life has been so, you have been so down, you have been so depressed that for you nothing anymore matters. Life doesn't have any more. There is no more even reason for you to live. I want to stay. I want to invite you. Sorry, I want to invite you for you to stay with us and see what God has been doing in the lives of people. Because in this year that is coming in few hours, God wants to give in that new year strength for you to overcome, strength for you to conquer. Because without this strength, it's impossible. Join these testimonies, join these stories. We have our number if you'd like to call us, or if you want to look for us here on Facebook, you can send us a message, and we're going to have the pleasure to help you and to tell you how can you be happy. Stay with us.
Stephen would have never thought he would have a peaceful, transformed life as he has today due to his past.
I noticed I had problems when I was a teenager. So I got addicted to medications. And I found that it would help numb my mind or something. And whenever I ran out of the meds, even if I wasn't in pain, sometimes I would go to the doctor and say, I'm in pain from the surgery I had. Can I have some medication? I also tried illegal drugs as a teenager. Marijuana was the favorite one that I used. And alcohol. When I'm drunk or high, I wouldn't remember what I said. Many times, people would tell me stuff. I didn't remember doing it. Then I was divorced, and at that time, when I was separated from my wife, I realized my life is bad. It's like, I didn't think my life could get any worse. Split over my homosexuality, because I had cheated on her with a guy.
Besides his addiction to sex with men, he was also addicted to drugs and medications, which also took a toll on his life.
Then she felt rotten, and I felt even worse. But I would go online because the internet became available then, and I would look at gay porn. I had many addictions. I didn't realize sex with men was one of addiction because it grew into a big addiction. Many times, I would have sex with more than one guy a day. But in my 30s and 40s, it got worse. But my daughter would see me bring home a different guy many times. The day that I phoned the church, I texted my daughter and I said, I'm going to church. And she said, I'm going to come with you. And she came. And I didn't remember a church service, but I remember afterwards talking to the pastor. After that, I got rid of everything. And I didn't touch the drugs. But in my head, I thought I'm powerless. Because desires sometimes were so strong. But I saw also at these services, other people fighting and giving their testimony. I realized I had peace. I never had peace in my life before. I never experienced that in my life. The desires in my life changed, and my mind changed, my thoughts changed. When I came to this church, I just said, I have to. My life has to change. And thank God it did.
Help was only one phone call away for Stephen to receive the guidance needed to change his life. Today, Stephen's life has completely transformed to peace, addiction-free, happiness, and a blessed marriage.
Do the maths. Changing your life is not as simple as changing your hairstyle, your shirt, or rearranging the furniture in your living room. You're talking about years of deep-rooted habits, behaviours and problems that are not going to change overnight. Many may say, think positively, but the trouble with that is that you can't do or change anything with just thoughts. But add action into the equation and the outcome can be different. Let's do the maths. Positive thinking plus action equals a change. Whatever it is, if the change is significant, if it's worthwhile, then it will have to take time, effort and homework from you.
I was experiencing a lot of bereavement. I had a very good friend of mine who some guys jumped him, they stabbed him in the throat and he died. Not long after that, later on, then my grandmother passed away. 8 months after, 9 months after, then my mother passed away too. That one really rocked me because that's the first person you know in your life. And then just about 8 months after that, then my dad died as well. Now, taken from there, that I've lost all these people, and then after the relationship I was in broke down, and I had a young one who was abducted to another country as well, so everything had crashed. On top of that, it just got worse where I lost my job, I had no finances, losing where I'm living. A dear friend of mine who was quite close, we walked down to, it was Dalston actually, and it was the market. When I entered the market, there was a group of people there. And what happened was, one of them particularly handed me this newspaper. And when he handed me this newsletter, something inside me said, look, why don't you go and have a look? So I went, and I saw a lot of people screaming and praying, and I thought, this isn't really for me at the time. And I left, but I left there with a massive headache and still not right, and things kind of got worse. And it came to the point where you've got nothing to cling to. But I remember when somebody else, I was having a battle, I was with a solicitor, and he turned to me and he had his book there, and he closed his book and he said, Mr. Brown, are you a man of God? And I thought, let me go back to that place and have a look. From the moment I went back to the church, my whole life changed. I was being counselled by one of the pastors there who advised a chain of prayer. What else could I hold on to? I had nothing else. So I went with it. Today, I'm happily remarried. My career is going up and up. Everything around me is just good. And the main thing was, when I would go back to when I was in the market, the gentleman who actually came up and gave me that newspaper, he probably wouldn't remember now, was Mr. Effie, that actually invited me. I've never regretted that day.
This is an encouragement for us to continue doing what we do, to put smiles on as many people's faces as we can. Because what we do, it's really a priceless gift that we can give to people, and the joy is to see them here with us.
We are back with your program. You see that all those people who you saw the testimonies, the stories, all of them, they had problems, but all of them, they found a solution of their problems. That's why I want to invite you. I want to invite you for you to change your life, because this 2020, together with this year that is starting in a few hours, is starting a new decade. You know, maybe these 10 years was, terrible for you, but surely that God wants to make these next 10 years to be 10 years of wonders. What you need to do is to stand up and take a decision. You still have time. Today at 10:30 here in Stockholm, we have the night video. So you have around 1 hour. If you live in Stockholm or close by, you can join our video, because we're going to be entering God's presence. We're going to be entering the presence of God and determine a year of blessings. So you have time to join us. But if it's impossible for you to join us tonight, you have tomorrow. You have any day where the UCKG has their doors open every single day to help people. We have daily services at 10 o'clock in the morning and at 7 p.m. Our address is Birger Jasgoten 106. You can visit our website for more information. If you live in Gothenburg, if you live in Malmö, if you live in Västerås, or if you live in Scandinavia, in Finland, Denmark, Norway, or you live abroad, any place of this world, you can visit our website www.uckg.se, and there you have the details and the addresses close to you. I want to wish you a blessed year. I want to wish you a blessed 2020. But more than wishing, I want to invite you for you to fight. Because when you fight, you see the results. I know that next year will be a great year for you the moment that you use your faith. Don't stay where you are. Because there where you are, you can change your problems. You can change this situation. Stand up and say, I can. I can. You know, as a new year is starting, you know, a new life will start in my life. God bless you and have a blessed year.